Guys, welcome back to another episode. Today I'm going to be discussing something that a lot of you might find useful, so stick through it and stay tuned. Alright, topic of discussion today, servicing your reels. This is not going to be a full service of this reel. It's not going to be stripping every part, cleaning it and putting it back together. This is going to be something that I'm hoping you guys will find useful, as you guys can do on a more regular basis. So personally, I don't service my own reels. One, I'm not very good at doing it, and two, it's obviously very time consuming. So this when I've gone through a couple of days of abusive fishing, the reels got really wet, been submerged in the water, maybe after a league or a competition, or maybe after nationals. This will not replace a full service, so I still service my reels at least twice a season. What I'm doing today will also solve a sticky drag.
It's strong for egg, so I don't know, maybe.
So that happens a lot and very easily, and your reel does not need to go for a full service when you feel a sticky drag. This video will help you guys fix that problem. Alright, so the first thing I would have done, splashed this off with a lot of pressure under the hose pipe just to get the sand off and the salt water off. The second thing I like to do is loosen my handle. This reel has not been serviced or cleaned, so bear with me if it does look a mess. Normal screwdriver, and we will undo these screws. Don't need to take those screws completely out. All I'm doing is loosening them just enough for it to still have enough grip so that it's not going to fall out. So there's actually a gap between the frame and the screw. Then we'll do the bottom. Now the bottom screw I want you to take out completely. Put it down nicely somewhere you can find it. Take the cap off. Now there's two more screws that you will be doing. These two both completely free, and remove them, and you'll see now why. So these reels get wet very easily, believe it or not. Yes, they say they are sealed, etc., but to be honest, they are not designed for the way we fish with them, especially not the way I fish with them. So you need to get the water out of it, because as soon as water gets in a reel, it is disastrous. Even a little bit of salt particles moving up and down the shaft, getting in there, it is not good. It's important just to have a flat screwdriver, as you can see. Secondly, what you then do is you take a cloth. This one's a little bit thick for what I want to do. You take this cloth, preferably a thinner cloth, and you stick it in that gap between the frame. Now you can see where the frames are coming together. You're going to stick this in there. You're going to put the cloth in. It's going to help you not to damage to your frame. You do it nice and slowly till you get that result. Then what you're going to do is you're going to tilt the reel downwards and remove water if there's excess water. As you can see, there is some water, not a huge amount, but there are a couple of droplets. Now those couple of moles is enough water to do quite a bit of damage to your reel, and now it's been removed. Thing we're doing this. What I always have is a bit of tackle protector, and we just spray a bit of tackle protector in there. Just do it nice and slowly to make sure you get it in between the two frames. Now ideally it does come with a longer pipe attachment. This one's old, I need a new one, but it's locked down, so I can't get. Silicone spray also works. Now we're going to tighten the screws again. Okay guys, so I'm going to say this again. This is not going to replace a full service. This is just to get rid of the water inside of your reel and to prolong the period that you wait between servicing. Because for the way I fish with the reel, it would have to be serviced every bloody week, and that is just unaffordable and unmanageable. So this will just help increase the period of wait between the services. So the next part of the video is going to be the drag washers. This is a slightly harder part of the video, but not difficult at all. Alright, so for the first part, it's to remove that little spring on top of the washers. You must do this gently. It's quite a fumble little. Put it down. Now if you follow the same procedure with your full servicing of your reel, it is very capable to service your reel by yourself, or even without the schematics of the reel. It's always good to have the schematics though, in case you hit the pothole. But just as you take things out, lay them down. First with the screw top, then with the little spring, and then the first little washer. Then the carbon washer, still carbon, still, which means there is a carbon one missing. Yes, there is. Be very gentle with these things, guys. There we go. So there is the top washers of our Saragosa spool taken out of the reel. So now what we're going to do is we're going to clean each part individually and thoroughly. This can be as simple as taking your washer, put it on a piece of towel, just rubbing all of that grease off of your little washer. We're going to do each one. Put the done ones in a new row. Use this cloth again. You can use a piece of toilet paper or a paper towel as well. It works just as good. Just make sure each piece is nice and dry and there's no more grease left on them. Okay, so I am now complete. Each piece I have cleaned thoroughly. I have removed all of the oils on them. What you can do is, and what does help, is a little bit of tackle protector on them, and then you just repeat the process. Alright, so now I'm done. First I took the grease off, then I sprayed them with tackle protector, and I took all the tackle protector off. Now my washers are ready to be re-greased and placed back into my spool. Make sure that it's nice and clean. Clean each little part, give it a couple of sprays, clean the inside, and then make sure to wipe it off afterwards. Okay, so very important with this part, I use Kingfisher grease, made for the drag washers of your reel. It's like a brown putty. There are other alternatives, there are many other alternatives. This is not the best, it's not a bad one, however. It works fine for what I do. This part is crucial. You cannot put too much grease on your little washers. If you put too much grease, as soon as there's a little bit of pressure on the washer stack, it will suspend the rest of the grease, the excess grease. It will push to the sides and you'll just sit with the same problem. It will be completely sticky drag and ineffective. All you want to do is you dash your finger in a little bit of putty, tiny bit like that. Then you put a little bit of, you just touch the washer and you use your middle finger just to wipe it in like that. So again, index finger just to put a little bit of grease onto the washer, and then the middle finger just to rub it in a bit. So you just want to cover the full surface area of this little washer with grease. You can do exactly the same with these steel washers, however it is not necessary to put grease on them. Putty on your index finger just a little bit, touch your washer, and then use your middle finger to displace it across the surface area of the washer. Very simple. It's going to look something like that. It's very difficult to show you guys on this camera, but as you can see, the surface area is moist with grease, but it is not submerged in grease, which is very important. Alright, I'm just going to go on and finish these. Okay, so now when you're done, remember we put these washers down in the same order we took them out. So this one goes in first, then the little steel washer, next carbon tex washer, next steel washer. This one you'll feel there's like a flat side and there's a rounded side. The rounded side of this washer must face the top. It also must line up with the little grooves, carbon tex, steel, and then this little boy. This is about the trickiest part of this exercise, is getting this guy back in. Gap between this little beautiful cross-shaped steel thingy. This needs to go into, you'll see there's these little grooves in the spool. So those two, the best way to do that I find is to get this little gap into one of those grooves. That's the first thing to do. Once you got that, you can just push your little star thing in place. There we go. Perfectly and in place. Now it is not done yet, guys. It is not done. Although this will solve a lot of problems when it comes to sticky drag, there are two big carbon tex washers in the bottom of this reel, and they actually often tend to hold the most water. So they are the reason for your problems when it comes to your washers. So this is what you should do next. Protection cup here, so it turns anti-clockwise. Okay, so the same thing applies. Just stick a little cloth over your screwdriver. I use a bigger flat screwdriver, not a thin one. And we're just going to push anti-clockwise. And there we go. Usually just needs one nudge. And then this thing is loose. Alright, we'll put that down. And then you do not need to undo those screws. This whole thing will come out. There we go. So this comes out, and we'll put them in the same order again. Alright, there we go. So that is the order. Doesn't really matter, just take them out in the same order and remember which one you took out last, and that's the one you must put back last. Alright, exactly the same principle, guys. We are going to try each one like we have OCD. We're going to get rid of every single bit of grease that there is on these washers. Alright, same thing, guys. A little bit of tackle protector on them. Re-dry them. A little bit of putty. Now, because it's a much bigger surface area, I use my index finger. Just take a tiny bit of putty and I cover the whole washer. But again, crucial that you do not put too much grease. You just want to have enough grease to cover the whole washer. As easy as that, guys. You can actually see there's quite a bit of moisture in the spool there. We're going to make sure we clean that nicely. A little bit of tackle protector spray. And now we will put them back in the same order we took them out. After it's nice and clean. Carbon Tex first. Steel washer. Not that the order actually really matters with these guys. As long as there's a steel washer, Carbon Tex washer, steel washer, Carbon Tex washer, steel washer, and the steel washer must be the last one because this is going to go on top of it. There we go. Put the cap back on. Remember, now it will turn clockwise direction. Make sure to put that cap on nice and tightly. That was just a quick fix. Voila, guys, your quick service is complete. While the reel is undone, make sure just to go through all the little grooves, clean every single part, and most importantly, this is a working bearing. Make sure you spray it, roll it a bit, and spray it a bit more, and roll it a bit. These are usually very quick to go on a reel. Saragosa, Pen Slammer, Spin Fisher, these little roller bearings handle a lot of pressure, close to a lot of moisture. Your handle bearing, that one, same story. Spray a little bit of Q20, spray a little bit of tackle protector, doesn't really matter too much. I prefer tackle protector or silicone spray. Clean it off. Make sure to put a little bit of spray on the screws, in between the little grooves. After that, make sure you clean it. You don't want the sticky spray on your reel afterwards because that is just an opportunity for sand to jump onto your reel. And there we go. Your little splash service, as I call it, is complete. Sometimes you will struggle to put your spool back on. You just need to realign the washers, you need to realign and play with them a bit. Play with the shaft, put the shaft in, take the shaft out. What I do is usually I find where I think the middle is and then I go from the top. And there we go, now it should work. Yep, voila. Alright, so if you've made it this far, well done to you. I realize it was quite a long video, it's quite a boring video, but it should be effective and it should help you guys just to look after your reels a little bit better. So I really hope this video helped you guys. Leave a little like if it did, comment below if you have any questions, any other tutorials you want me to do. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Cheers.